Welcome to the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast with Vicki Noethling. You are about to discover impactful lessons that help you grow as an individual, grow your confidence, and find the positive and good within you, so you powerfully and authentically become the best version of yourself. Be sure you visit our website at www.findyourleadershipconfidence.com. While you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now tune in, get ready, and enjoy the journey of emerging as a leader of exception in the 21st century.
Welcome, everyone, to the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast. I'm your host, Vicki Noethling, coming to you from Roswell, Georgia. The goal of this podcast is to bring topics and guests that will empower you to become that confident leader and take your business or your life to the next level. Today, I have with me Heidi Beyer, and let me tell you a little bit about Heidi. She is a business owner and entrepreneur who made her life purpose to be of service to others. Her goal is to encourage and inspire others to reach for the stars, fully expand their life, and become the best they can be. Her latest project, BU Renewed, is touted as America's purest wellness and anti-aging supplements, handcrafted formulas to support the body, mind, and spiritual for transformation and vitality. So today, of course, we're going to talk about how to be the best you can be. And please join me in welcoming Heidi Beyer. Heidi, so happy to have you on.
Thank you, Vicki. I appreciate it.
And so you and I have a lot in common in what we do, but I always ask that first simple question before we get into the meat of this. What part of the country do you call home? Where do you live?
I live in Los Angeles and right in LA, right in the heart of Los Angeles, in an area called Laurel Canyon.
Oh, okay.
Which is at Mulholland, right at Mulholland. But I'm originally from New York, born and raised back east.
You have a little bit of a New York accent. Were you in northern New York or what part?
No, I was born in Manhattan. And yeah. So I actually really did have quite the accent growing up. It was a conscious effort to kind of move into more of a mainstream, trying to have no accent. I went to a communication school, and that's one of the things they do is if somebody has a really deep accent, they pulled you out of line. That wasn't me, but that was my boyfriend at the time, who became a very famous director, actually.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Well, I was just going to say, I've spent time in both New York and in Los Angeles, so I can appreciate the different dynamics of both areas, because they are very different.
Very different. Yep. But the thread is, people are just kind of, they go and they have a youthful attitude. Everybody really wants life and expansion and, the lights and excitement, interest. There's a lot of interest. Let's say that.
And I think both areas are go-getters too.
That's what I mean. Yeah, exactly. Perfect word.
So let's get into this and share, I always tell the audience that the people I have on did not start out where they are today, that they had a journey. And so please share your backstory of what led you to where you're doing what you're doing today.
Yeah. So, my background is, it comes from a kind of a very entrepreneurial setup anyway. As a kid, I mean, my whole family was, kind of movers and shakers, and what are we going to do, and how are we going to, allow ourselves to kind of find the things that resonate best with us to help. I mean, as I say, as you mentioned, it is true, being of service is the number one goal that has been throughout my family history. So what does that look like? You can be a business owner, but a lot of it for me was creativity and developing my ability to kind of I wanted to, when I was little, I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to, I was a musician and I am a musician. So songwriting was a big part of my life. So a lot of this was, how can I had such a great business mind. And I always had that, even when I was quite little. I was always, my first job was a newspaper route when I
Oh,
was
wow.
10 years old. My father was actually go get some work, go to work, no child labor laws back then. And no, but it was really, just about encouraging, if you have money for yourself, if you have a little bit of allowance, you can go and you can buy, things for yourself. So it was, even though I am very fortunate, I came from a family that could do and could allow me to, to buy things, material things. It was really, they put it on me to have to really take care of myself at a young age. They didn't just give me things. I had to earn what so that's kind of the foundation of what allowed me to sort of, have platforms and springboards of moving to different type of experiences. And a lot of it was coming from a point of, okay, how do I grow this business? How do I grow that? So much of it was, just out there really hustling, really selling. And so, trying all, just a plethora of, while I was really working on my art, my creativity, also in the background, supporting myself through, just working in positions that were, very, kind of sales oriented, if you will. I have one experience that I was I was actually a talent agent. This was in the entertainment industry, and a lot of this is, just really selling your talent to the directors, the casting directors, the whatever, whoever. It's really who's going to have the loudest, kind of make the biggest noise, if you will, to really carry their talent to the net, to be the ones that they choose to get the contracts. So, it was coming from that perspective. So it was, my background really hails into, an area of, of productivity, of wanting to be always like be of service to others, helping others. So, that's what has really made me have the biggest amount of the biggest or the most joy in my life. The difference that's made the biggest difference, I should say. Yeah, is to
Impactful.
is impactful, is to really help others and to develop rapport where people really feel that, you do care. And that is something that I really do. I'm very genuine when I work with people, to let them know. And, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. And this, then my brand Be Renewed is really based on, just what can I do to one person at a time? Just, help. Am I going to change their lives? I sure hope so. But, that's not the key. The key is, can I just give you, some information that's going to inspire? The inspiration is the key to the next step for people. We don't quantify and know exactly how many people we've touched, but the more people we can, one-on-one make a difference with, absolutely, why not? That's sort of what I hope that I make an impact with.
Yeah, as I said at the beginning, you and I are so much aligned. It's not not even funny.
Is that right?
Yeah.
How is it with you?
So, well, for me, whenever I decided to, after retirement in 2018, I retired. So after retirement, I had decided, what can I do to be able to help women, especially, be more, believe in themselves more, to enjoy this life, this journey, and to give back. And so I started this podcast. I have my speaking and training business. I have my anti-aging and wellness business. And all of it is to make people live better, feel better, and look better. And I just find joy in helping others.
Oh my gosh.
So we're just so much aligned.
Oh
Let's
my
get
God,
into
we're the same person.
we're the same person. The West Coast and the East Coast version.
That's right. That's right. I love it.
So you say your expertise is the perfection of imperfection and finding my joy and satisfaction as I reach for the best self on a daily basis. So I'd love for you to just elaborate a little bit more on that.
Yeah, well, let me give a great example of what I mean by that. So this is like years ago, I was in Paris and I went to the museum, one of the museums, and there was the impressionistic art, because I'm actually a painter as well. I use watercolor as my medium, and I love impressionistic art. So I was in one of the galleries, and the Picassos were there, and I was there by myself. So I had time to really contemplate and think about, I was really thinking about my life and what do I want and how do I be better. And I'm looking at one of the particular paintings, and I'm just in awe at how unbelievably I was so happy and just so incredibly inspired. And I thought to myself, let me just go look a little more closely at this painting. So I walk up very close to it and I see all these pencil marks with, actually you could see, this is now back in the 1800s. You see the pencil marks, you see the eraser marks, you see all the mistakes. And I actually was like, oh my God, I was a little bit shocked. I couldn't believe that when you really scan it from afar, just a couple feet away, I mean, it's perfection. But when you go close up to the painting, you actually see all of its imperfections. And then I just got chills. And I thought to myself, as I go kind of move back again, this is what life is all about. It's so beautiful on the outside, but the truth is that we're all made up of these pencil marks that are with eraser marks, with all these little mistakes. And that's the beauty of our life. That's the beauty of my life. I'm speaking about myself. I really felt that, oh my God, this is me. In all my imperfections, I am perfect. And I know that is a spiritual, now we move into that, that we know that's what, we are what God created, if you will. But the key here is that I'm saying is that that's what I live to know is that it's okay not to get it right. And in fact, it's better in a sense not to get it right, because that is what we learn by. And that's the basis of how we can actually, we know how to make adjustments. And now I'm speaking from a practical perspective as a businesswoman. These items that we learn are what, well, I know they're hard sometimes, the lessons that we get put upon us and the challenges. But that is showing the strength of who we are as human beings, as women. It's like just, really accepting and welcoming all of the challenges that come upon us, and know that there are no mistakes with that you can actually make. And the journey is wide and the journey is long, and just to enjoy the journey. So on a daily basis for me, I have a particular practice that I do, with my morning routine, and I find having a routine in the morning really helps me to to fine tune my focus and to make a kind of a plan for the day, if you will. And it's not a hard set plan, but it's sort of like, I say, gee, it's like, show me my matches today, meaning, show me people or situations that are going to align with who I am as a person to take me to another level, so I can kind of pre-pave my day experience to make it as easy and effortless as possible without having as many hiccups. And if they do come up, that I'm actually in a good space and I'm in a positive place, so that I can actually attend to any challenges that pop up, with more ease and with lightness and with more joy. So that's what I mean about having the joy in your life, because if you do that and you see on a daily basis that you can reach for something other than you've had an experience of, even it's okay to not feel joy. We don't feel it every moment. And that is the key, is just to understand that we get back there and we have a method or tools or ways that we can to allow things to distract ourselves. So if we're in a moment, that's not comfortable, to distract where you're at, to get back to a place and become more general, so that you can allow yourself to find that joyful experience. So you having that morning routine really does help me to get to that place of feeling that joy, which allows me to expand on a daily basis.
Yeah. And, I'll also make that statement that I always say that being perfect is boring. And that,
right.
But I love that my husband is an artist and my daughter is an artist. And so I love the perspective that you show with using that example of a painting, because it is true. And I think sometimes we try to be so critical for ourselves and looking at those minor imperfections. I had done some modeling in my younger days and went to a modeling school, and they pick every little thing, like your nose is this, or your eyes are that, or your lips are this. And it's really difficult to go away from that thinking that your self-worth is there. You really are so critical of yourself. And as I got older, I thought, well, but my nose, the way it is, makes me who I am. My eyes, the way they are, brings that interest. And so now you start to see the gift as opposed to as the mistake, if you will. And God makes no mistakes. So everybody.
No mistakes. And yeah, you're absolutely right. And that is, there is really, I mean, it's so interesting to see, when we're looking at characters on screen and we see people who are beautiful and you say, oh, it's classically beautiful. But the truth is, when you see something that may not traditionally be beautiful, I just have to say that makes me more interested, like you say, and it becomes much more beautiful and much more memorable as a result. And the beauty, the within, our insides, kind of the light of our eyes allow that inside to shine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which we become the light and the source, which people really allow people to engage with us and allow people to feel that we are people that they can feel comfortable with.
Yeah. So you encourage to walk the edge and jump, regardless of whether you flew or fell flat on your face.
Yes.
And so often we shy away from what is unfamiliar or uncomfortable, and we try to stay within that safety zone, but then we deny ourselves opportunities that could be for greatness, for success, for happiness, for love. And so I'd like for you to just talk a little bit about that. What experiences have you had in your life that really made you want to express it as, walk the edge and jump?
Yeah, well, there's that poem that says, and he said, come to the edge, and they did. And he said, jump, and they did, and they flew. And so I love that. It's just perfect, and it's just so potent. Yeah, so I think about that every day of my life, especially, when you're starting, when you start new businesses, when you have a new something that you want to just kind of expand on. And so what have I done that has put me on the edge? Well, I've had a couple business experiences. I remember, boy, this was back maybe about 10 years ago, where I had a situation that basically I had invested a lot of money, major money. And I had an unfortunate, incident where I was taken for my investment. So I had to make adjustments with, businesses, and how I was going to, kind of go to the next level, and what other, how can I manage, and how can I go ahead and get more investment into the businesses, considering that now I'm starting like ground zero. So I've had that happen actually a couple times in my life, but it hasn't it's like everything makes you stronger. What doesn't, that saying, what doesn't kill you, it just makes you stronger. You just keep, you keep going, because that you're going to, that eventually something is going to connect. But it's not about what's going to connect. It's about the journey, and having not just the faith or the understanding that, there are no mistakes, and that you can continue going, and you are going to be supported, and that everything. I have a saying that I say almost every single day of my life, almost every moment of my life is it's all working out. Everything works out for me. Everything is okay. It's going to be okay. Just continue on the path. And so, having these little sayings that you incorporate every day, I tell you, it just it just keeps you going. And so, it's like walking to the edge. It's like, it's okay not to have anything, because for me, I have an understanding, a deep understanding inside myself, with confidence, that I know that I will make it, and that I know that I am taken care of.
Oh, that's awesome. So and this kind of goes along that theme, though, we all suffer losses, loneliness, and even depression. What are some pearls of wisdom you have on this subject of how to navigate that journey, to not lose faith, to continue to be brave and courageous? Because to me, confidence comes out of those moments of courageous and acceptance, right? So talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So, look, they always say, people always say, experts always say, it's really important to have people around you, a team of people, if you will. But and maybe it can get, if you're lonely, boy, it can really feel like there's nobody around you to talk to. Nobody understands. And it's really, really hard. It can be really hard to want to make that risk, and reach out to somebody, and really share what you're feeling. Whatever it takes, it is the most important thing to have at least one person in your life that you can talk to, one person that you can reach out to get out of yourself. Because what it is with loneliness, it's all pervasive. And if you continue down that road, it just really leads you into a place of just having a darkness that continues to grow. And the only way to get out of that is time, to allow yourself to just relax, to sit with yourself, to know, and to say to yourself, everything is working out for me. Everything is all right. And to find one individual that you can pick up the phone and call, and you not even say, this is what's going on with me, but just to ask, how are you doing? How are you? Getting out of yourself is the most helpful way to move the energy to change something as pervasive as loneliness. And once you get out of yourself, then what are you doing? You're being of service to someone else, being of service. And I know because I've experienced this, when you're lonely, that is not what you want to do. You want to just wallow in your feelings. But the best way, and it's wallow in your feelings. Yes, wallow for a minute or two or three or five. But once you are done, pick up the phone, call a family member, call a friend. And if you don't have anybody, call, somebody who just, find somebody that you can call, that you can talk to and tell and speak about what's going on. That's the thing that pulls you out. But the main thing is just the time to allow yourself to go through what you're going through.
Awesome. So you had a statement that I read that said, one of the greatest keys of life is being persistent, which last year that was my word of the year. Every year I have a word. So persistence was my word last year. How can persistency help you achieve the life that will give us or give you the opportunity to be our best?
Persistent is the key to life. And it is what's going to every single day allow you to be the best person that you are. And being persistent does not mean you have to every single moment stay on top of that thing that's going to, that you committed to staying on top of. Being persistent means to one moment you have the energy, you're gonna really do all you can to move the thing forward and to stay on course and to do what you need to do. I mean, persistent can be even as simple as going to work out. You make a commitment. Oh, I'm going to work out every day, or I'm going to work out 4 or 5 times a week. Well, let's say, things come up and, balance is important. Mm-hmm. You need to have balance in your life. And if you're off balance, then it's really hard to be taken care of physically and go work out or go do, the commitments that you made over here. So the key is not to be so hard on yourself, not to beat yourself up that you're not going to, now you're going down a different road. So just to be kind and gentle with yourself, to know that it takes persistency as a journey. That's your time in. That's knowing that, hey, you know what, I'm going to continue moving forward, and I'm going to stop along the way. And I'm going to take a moment over here. I'm going to smell the roses, as they say. I'm going to do what I need to do to stay on track, because when you take a break, if you need to reset, being persistent, the number one rule of persistency is the reset button. Hit the reset. If you're overwhelmed, if things are just coming at you and you don't know what to do, just take a breather, take a break, watch TV for a minute, go for a walk, have lunch, do something just do something for yourself, something that you wouldn't normally do.
So this is a great segue into my next question and it ties into your Be You Renewed. Why is it important to focus on the physical, the emotional, and the spiritual well-being?
Why is it important to focus on your physical, and your emotional well-being? Because look, balance is the key to being a whole person. And whether we've been top heavy, let's say with the way we look, right? It's okay. There's actually a saying. I was watching the Grammys the other night, and Oprah was saying that Tina Turner used to tell her, get dressed for dinner. Even if you're alone, get dressed for dinner. Why? Because you feel better about yourself. Mm-hmm. So, you need to do things. We all need to do things that allow us to make ourselves feel better about being ourselves. And emotionally, that calls for the same thing. And spiritually, it calls for the same thing. Just find that balance, and it's not perfect. We are not perfect. The physical aspect of ourselves has been, for me, this is why I love and created the line, is because I want people to know that there are ways that they can kind of support themselves, not just going through life and not having. It's almost like having a friend. The systems, the supplement systems that I created, the Age Well system, the Stay Sharp system, and the Well-Being system, all are a combination of the physical, mental, and spiritual and emotional part of who we are. And if we can at least have some support and these tools to give us, if we eat well, if we don't eat well, if we have good physical, kind of routines, if we don't, whatever it is that we do or we don't have, again, we don't beat ourselves up for it. But if we have tools to support what we do, this is why I created the BU Renewed line, because I know that people will feel that my whole goal was to allow people to feel like that they were on vacation, that this was a kind of a break from their lives, that they would feel supported in a way that they don't feel maybe in a particular moment or in a particular day.
So why don't you, excuse me, in our last question here, tell us a little bit about the formulas you created. You have Age Well system, Well-Being system, and Stay Sharp system. So talk a little bit about each to inform the audience about just exactly, what they are, what they accomplish when you take them.
So what we did was we created a stage 1 and a stage 2. So when you buy the product, it's called a Age Well system. And the stage 1, there's a morning formula, and the morning formula really is helping with your fatigue, energy, vitality. And it really just gives you that extra lift that, you're looking for during the day to support. It helps to regenerate the cells. It's like as we age, it's like we lose collagen, we lose cellular support, and this is just a way to kind of kickstart you into regenerating your cellular support so that you can create an age reversal, support within your whole inner body, which actually comes to, the surface and actually reveals itself through that. The stage 2 it's all about your mobility, your joints. As we age, it's like we lose cartilage and whatnot. And this is just a way to actually add, these, the nutrients that you need, the minerals, the vitamins, to help to alleviate and to support and to, again, put you into another zone so that you can actually have that back. So you can feel like you can pick up your grandkids, that sort of thing, and that you can move about. And you don't have the pain that you would have, if you didn't use the products. The well-being system that we have is, again, they're all stage 1 morning formula and stage 2. And so the well-being system is based on producing stress support, anti-anxiety, creating calm. And the evening formula is to help with just settling down and to have a great night's sleep and to just give you the opportunity to reset. The Stay Sharp system that we have is just as it says, it's to really focus on the brain support, brain supplement. It's the cognition, it's the memory. We have the stage 1, the morning formula, which is your memory, clarity, focus, your production. Your stage 2 is the cognition. It's the anti-aging. It's the ability to, just have kind of a nice, even mood. So yeah, they all encompass body, mind, spirit.
Yeah. And it's so important. And, it's one of the things that there are things that you can do. There are, you can go to the gym and work out really hard. You can try to eat right, but we all know that life gets in the way sometimes. And so, that's why we have these things, just like your product, to be able to help you get that balance that you need.
Absolutely.
It's time now for me to share my screen to be able to get you the contact information. So if you want to reach out to Heidi to be able to learn more about the products, or just chat about, maybe things that you're feeling, having that friend, that community that we so desperately do need. If you're just listening, you know the drill. You should have had a paper and pencil and been taking notes all along, but in case you didn't, run and do that now. The website is burenewed.com. Again, that's BU and then renewed.com, burenewed.com. Her email is Heidi@burenewed.com. On Facebook, you can find her by searching just Heidi Beyer. So that's HEIDI, then BEYER. On Instagram, BU Renewed Official, and Pinterest is BU Renewed. I'm going to turn it over to Heidi to tell you what you'll find when you go to burenewed.com, and a little bit more about how you can get in contact with her. Heidi.
So so please, thank you for the introduction. Thank you for the interview. And the website, we have our supplement. All of the systems are listed. We offer, a first-time discount. We have Valentine special going on right now. All 3 systems, all of the product information is there. It's in full. We have some wonderful articles and blogs that will inform and help you to really be better in your life and to be the best you possible. And the goal of the brand BU Renewed is just to allow you to have the best life and to be your best every single day, at your very best. And please feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to, help in any way that I can.
Awesome. Well, Heidi, it was great having you as a guest. And as I said, we're so much aligned in what we do and how we care about making people really be their best. And I would just like to thank you for being my guest and being your best.
Thank you very much, Vicki.
As always, I remind everyone that life is a journey, and it's up to you to enjoy the ride. This is Vicki Noethling, signing off.
Thank you for tuning into the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast with Vicki Noethling, where we share impactful lessons that help you grow as an individual, grow your confidence, and find the positive and good within you so you powerfully and authentically become the best version of yourself. Remember to visit our website at www.findyourleadershipconfidence.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're here, subscribe to us via your favorite network. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Find Your Leadership Confidence podcast.